Hi, I'm Alicia. In Family Tree, relationships connect people into families. There are two types of relationship: couple relationships and parent-child relationships. Couple relationships connect a man and woman as husband and wife. Parent-child relationships connect children to parents. A child has a parent-child relationship to the mother and a separate relationship to the father. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make corrections to relationships which have been entered incorrectly in Family Tree. This can include a child added to the wrong parents and a marriage to the wrong spouse. Sometimes these relationships can get into quite a tangle. I recommend that you keep a record of how names are linked at present and also make a note of how the relationships should end up. Then make some notes on the steps you'll take to straighten things out. Let me demonstrate some useful tips before you start. I'll show you two ways to record an existing family structure. The first, which is provided by Family Tree, is to take the option to print. This is found on the right-hand side of the details screen for an individual. I can click here for a pedigree chart. It is produced as a PDF file. This link gives me a family group record showing the parents with their children listed below. I can save these files to my computer and print them as well. By printing out these documents, I can make notes upon them against the names whose relationships need to be changed. The second way to keep a record of my starting point is to copy the existing family structure and paste that into a document using Word or the free Open Office product. Here, I drag my mouse over the section I need in order to highlight it. Then copy that. This is a blank Word document, and I paste the family structure into it. To demonstrate how to use this idea, I copy the 7-digit ID for Josephine Arnold. Back on Family Tree, I click Find, then ID number, and paste in what I copied from the Word document. The record for Josephine is found. On re-examining this family, I can see that the child Anne Sears has been added incorrectly. The birth date is given as being only 6 years after the father's birth date. I note that the surname is different as well. Therefore, I decide to remove the child from this family. Running my mouse over the record gives me an option, Edit Parents. On this screen, I select the option, Delete Relationship. I take note of any warnings given and enter my reason statement. Then confirm by clicking the two checkboxes and click Delete to continue to remove the relationship. I click on the father to return to this family. Further research has shown me that Jared Neep did not marry Josephine Arnold. Therefore, I have to remove that relationship as well. But the two children shown do belong to Jared. Now I shall remove the two remaining children temporarily, and then I can break the marriage relationship. Since I have already kept a record of this family's structure in a Word document, I can proceed with confidence. I remove Robert Neep using the same procedure as I did before for Anne Sears. Then the remaining child, David Neep. The final relationship to be removed is with the wife, Josephine. To change a marriage relationship, I click Edit Couple. Then select Delete Relationship. Give my reasons, confirm, and click Delete to proceed. I click the father's name to return to his details screen. There should now be 3 steps remaining. The first is to add the correct wife by clicking Add or Find Spouse. Enter the information I know and then search to see whether she is already in the database. In this case, she isn't, therefore I select Add. I enter the remaining fields as far as possible. And click Continue. To complete entering the marriage details, I click Edit Couple. I add the marriage event, its date, its place using a standardized location from the drop-down list, and finally, my reason statement. Back to the father's details screen again. The final 2 steps should be to add back the children, Robert and David. This will be made straightforward because I kept a note of their 7-digit IDs in my Word document. Going back to that document, I can copy the ID for Robert Neep. I return to Family Tree and click Add Child. I select Find by ID number and paste that in. I can see that this is the record I want from the birth details, but I'm confused by these extra parents. However, I'll complete the current process here and come back to these other parents later. The second child is David Neep, and I'll follow the same procedure again to add him to the family. Again, I copy his ID from my document. Paste that in and confirm that he's the one I want. Now I'll deal with the extra parents for Robert Neep. On Robert's summary card, I click Tree so that I can see all of his parents. The right-pointing black arrow indicates multiple parents, and clicking that arrow lists them. There are 2 sets of additional parents. I click one that I do not recognise, Leonard Pharaoh. This displays him with his wife Nina on the tree. However, I can quickly see that this is an error, as the birth of the father Leonard was 185 years earlier than the birth of the son Robert. To remove this relationship, I follow the same procedure as earlier from the details screen of the father Leonard. I hover my mouse over the child and click Edit Parents. Then click Delete Relationship. I complete this screen with my explanation. Confirm by clicking the 2 checkboxes. And finally, click the Delete button. I want to get back to Robert as the root person on the tree again, so that I can check his parents once more. It's now showing 2 sets of parents. From my research, I know that Grant Neep was actually Robert's uncle. Therefore, I must remove him as a parent. The procedure is the same as before, and I'll fast forward through that. Finally, the black arrow does not appear at the right of the couple's box on the pedigree chart, signalling that Robert is now linked to only one set of parents. However, on looking at the details for Robert, I can see that he has multiple wives. So there's still much checking and tidying to do. You can see that correcting relationships needs a cool head, some preparation to avoid confusion, and a step-by-step approach. Remember to create a plan and keep a note of your starting point and what you want to achieve. Consider carefully the steps you'll take and write them down. I've really only just touched the surface with relationships, enough to get you started. For a more in-depth look at this subject, I recommend that you obtain the full instruction manual. There's a link for that in the text below this video. Read the section you need. When starting out with a concept that is new to you, remember to practice the procedures in the sandbox training area first, where you may try it as much as you like. That area can be refreshed if it becomes really messy. Again, the link is given in the text. Once you feel confident, you can proceed with your real-life family information in Family Tree. Family history can be lots of fun and bring you much satisfaction, so give it a try today. You'll be glad you did.